You've grown your business now. You have something like 15,000 employees. And like you quite correctly said, when you grow, you're going to have to do things which some people in your team may not be comfortable about, some people in your team may not agree with, and yet you have to have that courage. And these are people who worked with you when you were starting off, were close friends, and then when you're not on the same page, sometimes you need to make difficult decisions and say they were great when I was going from 10 to 100, but perhaps from 100 to 1,000, that's no longer the same. That's such a difficult thing to do, Sachin, because, telling friends it's just not working anymore must be so hard. How do you manage that?
That's a tough one. That's also a tough one because, that different people have different personalities. My personality is very affiliative. So I get emotionally attached to the people I'm working with, which is pretty much a disaster. But that is who I am. So that has been one of the toughest parts of this journey, to be perfectly honest. And honestly, the biggest mistakes I've made in this business are hiring mistakes. Because guess what? One wrong senior hire costs you 2 years. See, it takes you 3 to 6 months to hire someone senior. Then you have to give them 6 months to a year to either perform or not perform. And then if you fire them, you need another 6 months to replace them. In a journey of a startup or a young company, 2 years is a very, very long time. So honestly, the biggest mistakes I made were bad hires. The even worse mistakes were sticking on to those bad hires for too long. And in hindsight, the biggest learning I had was when I let them go, they were almost as relieved as I was. So it wasn't as if they were having a great time in the organization, which in hindsight, I feel so stupid about it. But the reality is, the correlation coefficient of this is 1. Every time I let a bad hire go, the company was better for it, and 100% of the time, that person found a better fit somewhere else. So I think it's been really hard, and especially as you know, amongst those senior hires that I had to let go was my own brother. So it's been a very, very difficult journey emotionally from that perspective. But I will say for entrepreneurs, my biggest learning is hire fast, fail fast, right? Try things fast, fail fast. Don't procrastinate. Indecisiveness is the worst thing in entrepreneurship. And I have made so many terrible decisions, both in bad hires and in not dealing with those bad hires.
I can see Dhruv gesticulating, saying that lots of people in the audience who want to ask questions. So I'm going to just ask 2 questions. These are my last ones. One's going to be a personal question, and the other is going to be a professional question. The personal question is, you're easily the most hardworking person I know, because you have US physicians in the US, which is a continent away. And then obviously you have such a large Indian team. And when you're doing sales, everyone wants to see your face. How do you find time to sleep?
My earlier mantra used to be, sleep is for the weak, we will sleep in our grave. Now I've learned better. Now I've learned that is a mantra for total disaster. So the reality is, Dr. Saab, I'll tell you one thing. The moment my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep. So I have no trouble sleeping. The trouble is getting to sleep, and the trouble is not picking up the phone when you wake up in the middle of the night to pee, right? So that is, I'm learning. But the fact of the matter is, there is so much energy, so much adrenaline in the business that how can you not work hard? And I don't agree that I am the hardest working person. I think the hardest working person is the kid in Bombay that starts from their home, walks to the train station, no matter whether it's raining or not, takes a train, then gets dropped off in the train to some other station, then takes a bus, and 2 hours later they're in my office. And in that office, then they work 10 hours and then take another journey 2 hours back home. My hard work is nothing compared to that. So, I actually don't believe that the work is that hard. And the reality is so much fun. We've been so blessed, right? So I personally think it's... now, am I still working on my sleep? Yes, I'm wearing an Aura ring and I'm trying to get better.